dear viewers. Climatically, the world is at a tipping point. Humans have used and abused the Earth's resources to a point where we are now a threat to ourselves and the environment we live in. And so we look to renewable energy sources. Solar energy has been used for over 2 millennia for heating, cooking, and other essential applications that make our lives more efficient. It is obvious why the sun has been such an essential resource for humanity. If its rays can heat our bodies while we're just walking around outside, there must be other things we can do with it. Our sun is powerful. Not only is its energy virtually inexhaustible, but it is also the most abundant source of energy on Earth. Fossil fuels just cannot compare. Yet, solar energy technology really only came into its own in 1954, when Bell Laboratories created the first commercially viable solar cell. Since then, solar power has leaped into prominence as the fastest growing sector of the energy economy. We live in a country and a state that has sunshine almost the whole year through. It stands to reason, therefore, that we must be able to leverage that in some way. Today, we have a session on solar power plants, giving you the lowdown on everything you need to know about how they are set up and how they work. To begin with, let's look at the importance of solar energy in a state like Goa.
We receive enough power from the sun to meet the power demands of all mankind, millions of times over. Solar energy, power from the sun, is a vast, inexhaustible, and clean resource. Sunlight or solar energy can be used directly for heating and lighting homes and businesses, for generating electricity, for hot water heating, and a variety of other commercial and industrial uses. Most critical is the fact that the growing concern over climate change and solar electricity generation represents a clean alternative to electricity from fossil fuels, with no air and water pollution, contributing to the decrease in carbon emissions. This kind of electricity poses no risks of electricity price spikes and no threats to our public health.
Let us look at the two major uses of solar energy in Goa.
Two major uses of solar energy. First of all, to heat water. Solar water heating is heating water by sunlight using a solar thermal collector, which then transfers the heated water in the storage tank for later use. One can install a solar water heater based on one's hot water needs. They are widely used for residential and some industrial applications. The second major use of solar power is to generate electricity, that is, a solar power plant. Through a solar power plant, the energy from the sun is converted into electricity using solar panels. These generate electricity from the sunlight which it receives. This power generated as direct current is then converted to alternating current by a solar inverter and can be used to power appliances or could also be stored in batteries for later use. Today, we are going to hear a little more about how solar energy is a very feasible way of powering our homes and institutions.
All of what you just heard is relevant in the context of adopting solar energy as a sustainable and an alternate means of our own personal, and by that I mean home, office, and institutional energy requirements. Let us get a better understanding of the two kinds of solar power installations.
First is a grid-tie solar power plant. On-grid solar power system is a solar power generation system that is connected to the grid. The power generated by the solar panels is converted by the solar inverter It converts DC current to alternating current. This electricity is then routed to the distribution panel of the consumer for use. The surplus power is routed to the grid through a net meter. It is a device that records the energy supplied to the grid and the energy consumed from the grid. Off-grid solar power plant. An off-grid system works independently and is not connected to the electricity grid and requires batteries for the storage of power. Off-grid solar power systems must be designed appropriately so that they will generate enough electricity to power up the electrical systems as well as charge the batteries sufficiently during the day.
We will now take a look at the comparative advantages of both the on-grid and the off-grid power plants.
Advantages of a solar on-grid system. The cost of an on-grid solar power system is reasonable and return on investment is about 4 to 5 years. It is a no-maintenance system and the maintenance involved is limited to cleaning of the panels once in about 20 to 30 days. No wastage of solar generation during the day due to non-utilization of the power produced. It is a one-time investment system with no recurring cost involved. Based on the government benchmark cost per kilowatt and the subsidy provided, 50% subsidy is given by the government for homes and institutions and 20% for commercial spaces. The disadvantage of the system is that in the case of a power cut, the entire system shuts down as a safety feature. Off-grid solar power system. It provides continuous power supply with no reliance on grid supply, ensuring there is no inconvenience caused due to a power cut. The disadvantages are the high cost of batteries for off-grid inverters means that an off-grid system is much more expensive than an on-grid system and requires regular maintenance and checking of batteries.
Dear viewers, we have 2 interviews to share with you. These are from St. Brito's High School in Mapsa and Pedro Arupe Institute in Raya, both of whom have moved to 100% of their energy needs being met by solar power. Stay tuned to watch these interviews.
The management and the alumni, that is the ex-student of our institution, decided to go green. What do I mean go green? Use solar energy to produce electricity. Now we know that solar energy is produced from water, that is hydroelectricity, and the other source is thermal power. The thermal power pollutes the environment. Thermal power you get from coal. Electricity is produced from using coal and fossil fuels. Now these are exhaustible resources or sources and environment pollution resources. Water resource, hydroelectricity, is again using precious water which we require. We need water very much. And so we decided that to save our natural resources, we go green. The ex-student, along with the management, decided to collect the funds and also subsidy from the government to put up a solar panel project for our institution here in Mapsa. The solar power project is also, for 25 years you need not worry about the panels, and it gives you free electricity for so many years. So that is very advantageous. And not only that, the initial cost of course is high, but with the help of the students and the government, we managed to put up the project. But you make up for it within 2 or 3 years. And after that, it is free electricity. Say for instance, if you have to pay 15,000, 20,000 per month, over the years it is free electricity, and so you can use that money for some development projects for the institution. So I would suggest that many of institutions could go green. In fact, we have one in the south, Loyola High School, Margao, has already put up a solar project and they are doing very well. We also have one in Raya, Pedro Arope Retreat Center. They are also doing very well. And so it is economical, maintenance free. At the most, you have to just clean the panels once a month, and it gives you plenty of electricity, and I would say you go for it.
Would like to share something about our solar system that was installed recently at our institute. This project was designed as an electric roof to generate electricity for our institute as well as a protection for our building. We took into consideration all the factors, including the cost and investment for the project like this, and we felt that it was a good option, a good idea to go green and also have the institution powered by solar energy for the next 25 years. Since its installation about 6-7 months ago, it has generated a good amount of units to nullify our electricity bills and also the bills of other 2 houses that are grouped together. We feel this is a good decision to go green mainly because of 3 reasons. First, as part of our contribution to promote the environmental projects. Secondly, it cuts down our electricity bills. And the third, we have programs for our laity and youth. It is an opportunity for the laity and youth to see such energy system over here and also to learn and promote in other places. Thank you.
The question about solar system, why solar panels in our school? I basically find that the solar panels are a renewable source of energy and it's the green energy promoted to nurture Mother Earth, a clarion call given by our Pope Francis and a lot of conservation of this earth as it is going around. Now, as many ask, it is definitely an expensive, but what are the benefits of it? The benefits in the long run are many, and the most of it is that my electricity will be saved, my bills will be less, and in the course of time, which is 20-25 years, it will almost nullify. I need the electricity till half a day, but the rest of the day I will be contributing to the state, and it will be on-grid solar project. As anybody asks you, what is the process? Was it easy? Any process has to be in collaboration with all the stakeholders. After much discussion with our parents, with our staff, with our alumni, and with my management, the response was much encouraging and the enthusiasm much higher. So I thank all my staff, my management, my PTA and my alumni for this collaborated project, which in the long run will definitely benefit. There have been a few schools in Goa which have already started, but I am happy to say this is one of the first girls' school in the rural village which is having a solar panels. And thanks to all my stakeholders.
We hope you found this session stimulating. In the next episode, we will answer the basic questions that anyone who is considering shifting to solar power for their own energy needs might have. These should give you clarity on the what, how, why, costs, etc. if you decide to explore it as an option for yourself or for your community.